So, the unthinkable happened. The creators of the original show of Avatar: The Last Airbender are now gone from the Netflix adaptation. Shit. There is so much to dig through for the blog post they did release out on Twitter, but today I want to be focusing on something that I've been thinking a fair bit about recently. And that is that now that the creators of the original show are gone, there is now a huge risk, more so than ever, that this show actually might be shit. So here are the biggest things that for the people making that Netflix adaptation, the biggest things they should and shouldn't do for their live action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. As I said in my previous Korra video, I am new to the Avatar universe, so I will probably have some serious hot takes on things that you grew up with loving, and I'm asking to either change or focus elsewhere. This is by no means saying you are wrong, this video is just my opinion. And as these videos get bigger, it seems not having the same opinion as the majority does get a little harder. First, do not replace Jeremy Zuckerman. Okay, when you think of Avatar or Korra, what are some of the first things that come to mind? Obviously, its story or characters or the great art style, yes, to all of the above. But as important to me, and to be honest, the safest thing I'm going to say in this whole video is do not replace the composer Jeremy Zuckerman. Just don't. I do not mind if you have other great composers that want to help out and join him that do a lot of these shows. I don't mind. If you want Blake Neely to join him or John Pisano, that's great, but Jeremy needs to be there. Too many iconic sounds and moments are living and breathing because of him, and I think just having a passable score that people won't notice will be such a missed opportunity. Considering both Korra and Avatar have finished their runs, for Jeremy to have free reign and expand the score, knowing where the story is going, fully gives him like the perfect opportunity to make the score deeper and more intricate than ever before. Sideways did a great video on this, describing a huge way music gets held back on TV.
TV music tends to suck. And that's not like a jab at anyone. A lot of composers that work for TV do 10 times the work of video game and film composers. It's not unheard of for TV composers to have a week to score a half-an-hour show. The music team might still not be in the loop for what happens in the show. You might get some concept art, maybe a general idea of what the show's doing, but for the most part, it's completely possible that you're finding out what's happening in the show as you're scoring it week by week.
So for me, to sum up this small point, having the sound world of this Netflix show really means a lot to me, and I don't think I'm alone in this. Jeremy Zuckerman is a great composer, and I just hope to hear more of his work in the future. Secondly, have a tighter season 1. Season 1 needs to start strong with the Netflix series, no doubt, but it's quite well known Season 1 is a slow start, and upon watching it myself for the first time, I was given plenty of warning that the show does get better. They didn't say it's bad or you won't enjoy it. I really liked what I saw. Just as I got further along, I went from watching a few episodes every now and then to smashing the whole show out in a week. Episodes like Imprisoned, Jet, Barter of the Water Tribe, and really most importantly this episode, The Great Divide, episodes that had just missed the high mark of normal Avatar episodes for me. Unlike Season 2 and 3, Season 1 is the only season with episodes that are just okay. And this will sort of contradict what I say later on in the video, but there are other plot points that are key in Season 1. Season 1 is a lot more one-off based episodes and adventures, which is perfectly fine, but episodes like the Kyoshi Warriors or focusing on King Boomy with the King of Omashu are very likely things to potentially be cut or skipped in a streamlined version of the season. What I'm proposing is that it just needs to make sure every episode is carefully thought about on a grand scale of things. Thirdly, do not make this Riverdale 2 Electric Boy in Ice Boogaloo. Okay. This is an easy one, Netflix. You listening right now? You sure you're listening? Right, look me in the eyes. I know Riverdale is mostly a CW type entity show, but you guys put it all over your fucking homepage, and you guys half produce it or some shit. What we don't want is for you guys to take Avatar and age everyone up and make everything sexual and put love triangles in it and just all that shit. No, it's just becoming a trend amongst a ton of different, studios in like just network TV. Is they take shows like Riverdale, which is just Archie comics, and just all of it. We don't want to see it. That's not Avatar. And hot take incoming. 3, 2, 1. I don't have an issue with actually aging up the characters. Like, in live action, is it going to be hard to see a 12-year-old girl earthbending and taking out dudes who are 7 feet tall, made out of raw muscle? Yeah. But do Avatar fans care? No. because that's how Toph was in the show. But to make it a bit more marketable and for writing potential, I can totally see Netflix aging them up to make fights hit that bit harder and get away with a lot more. It turns out on the day of writing this video, or just like the week of writing, Netflix is sort of okay with children doing fucked up and weird shit, you know, so this makes this whole segment really awkward. So skipping over that, I do want to go into why aging up characters actually could work, because in the end, I'm on the fence. But if it means that we can have more intense and raw fights that are just more visceral, innately, that's just easier with older actors. But if you do want to capture the real adolescent, mind of a child taking on the world, then that can totally work too. And lastly, spread out the narrative. I know longtime Avatar fans love the 3-season setup that the original show had, and when talking to friends, they weren't all too hot on my idea. Season 1, water. Season 2, earth. Season 3, fire. It's pretty bloody simple, and it works very well. But an issue that I had, that is if Netflix was to try do it in 3 seasons, in my head, I just cannot see it working. You would just be cutting too many vital stories down or rushing arcs that need breathing room. Now, will they just loosely adapt it? Maybe. But even episodes that seem a bit aimless near the start of the season are so damn crucial as a whole. There's a whole Footloose episode in Season 3 and a beach episode, which at the start of it, you just think, oh, this is just fucking filler. What is this? But then you actually look into it, and there's amazing character exploration and has some of the show's best moments. In that beach episode, especially with Ty Lee and Azula, damn, Zuko, everyone was just great in this episode. But Sokka's Master is a perfect example of an episode that deserves its length and focus. This isn't something you can just skip or speed up. In my honest opinion, splitting Season 3 literally into 2 seasons would be perfect. Season 3 takes on so much and it's so damn good. And yes, I know making a TV show is way more complicated than just going, oh well, we'll do this beat for beat and then this episode can be a recreation with this dialogue and everything's just the same, easy peasy. But there are obviously issues behind the scenes, and these things I think can potentially just save the show from being utter trash. But getting more time to dedicate episodes the breathing room they deserve only seems right, in my opinion. Having the invasion of the Black Sun be the finale and then ending on Zuko attempting to join the group at the Western Air Temple seems perfect in my eyes. Having a whole season with Zuko on the team gives that whole arc the breathing room that it needs, so it seems less tick-boxy. On its own, like Firebending Masters, oh, so good. And then Southern Raiders, oh, just these are god-tier episodes. In the middle, you have the 2-parter with Sokka, but even as Toph says, why doesn't she get a solo life-changing experience with Zuko? I don't think she needed one. I think he's just, he's more than a vessel for these characters to explore these new stories. He's a great vessel, don't get me wrong, but going back to back 4 times in a row, then to get Ember Island Players episode, on a first watch, for me, when I was binging through it all, I was like, oh, damn, I guess this is it then. And then for the finale, it splits everyone up, which is rare for the show. So we don't really see Zuko, how he affects the entire team dynamic. Again, for an animated show like this is an extreme nitpick. This isn't a scripting issue. This is something I think we just would have improved a tad. And I do think there are great stories to tell with him just being there to help the team on their travels. Like Toph, when they're in the desert, new problems arose that Toph could help with amazingly. But then, she has other hindrances like seeing. But in live action, things are just done differently. So the way how I preserve an exec coming in, I just see them trying to make it marketable or whatever. Like you just get like a Kylo Ren style turn where all of his motives are just simplified at the worst possible times. And just that back and forth in the show, going, oh, am I turning, am I not? Big scenes that we love from the show are just going to be just simplified. Or they're just cut altogether for just either time consuming or just dumb reasons that we can't really just think why they would do it. I imagine we get a quick glimpse of his mother. He turns later into the final season. He helps the hero defeat the bad guy. The show shifts from him being the focus. And that's my biggest fear. It all depends on the mentality Netflix wants behind the show. If they want to do it justice, just give the show the budget it needs. Make it so we see all the benders, living so differently from each other. Show how unique their living really is. And just give the characters room to breathe. That's probably one of the biggest show's assets, is that so many people have different favorite characters. Like mine is probably Katara or Zuko, which that's pretty much, the white bread answer. Everyone loves Zuko, but there is just as many Tophs or, Zulas and you know, one of my mates in the group chat was like, you know, who's your favorite character? Just openly. And everyone was saying a different answer. And that's just so unique with Avatar. These are just some of the biggest concerns and things that are just on my mind after hearing all the news about Avatar, you know, kind of having on Netflix. I just hope that the show turns out great. In the comment section down below, I want to hear your thoughts on things that they better not change, or stuff that you go, I wouldn't mind if they changed. Sound off below. I'm interested in what you guys think. Other than that, click like, subscribe, and share for more. And I hope you all have a lovely day.